On Friday, September 26th, in New York City, Jamaica's Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, addressed the United Nations General Assembly. He stated that the crisis in Haiti clearly shows the reality of international criminal groups that are heavily involved in arms and drug trafficking. Holness called for a global war on gangs, describing these criminal organizations as powerful worldwide groups with resources that rival nation-states. During his address, he also sent a message to Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso, asserting that Jamaica bows to no one.
The Haitian crisis has laid bare a wider truth. Transnational criminal networks involved in cybercrime, trafficking arms, narcotics, and people, organizing violence and destabilizing institutions, are an existential threat to states. Gangs are now global syndicates with resources that rival nation-states. Jamaica has made significant progress in tackling gangs and reducing our homicide rate by more than 50% in recent years. But we know that unless these networks are totally dismantled, our gains remain fragile. This is why we call for nothing less than a global war on gangs, a coordinated international campaign to cut off the flow of weapons, money, and the influence that sustains them. This requires deeper engagement from all member states. We urge full implementation of the UN Programme of Action on Small Arms and Light Weapons and the International Tracing Instrument. Major arms exporting countries must tighten export controls, strengthen end-use monitoring, and ensure rigorous post-delivery verification. Jamaica welcomes cooperation with all partners in this fight, including the interdiction of drug trafficking vessels, provided that such operations are carried out with full respect for international law, human rights, and with the coordination and collaboration of the countries of the region. The Caribbean has created regional security mechanisms, but these efforts alone cannot match the scale of the threat. What we need is a unified front with the same urgency, resources, and coordination the world has applied to terrorism. Only then can we turn the Caribbean, and indeed the wider region, into a true zone of peace.
I don't think people understand how big it is for Jamaica to be able to speak on tackling global wars and gangs, right? I don't think people understand, because be reminded, Jamaica was on the top 10 list of countries not to visit across the world because of our homicide rate. And our homicide rate has been cutting like 50%. So therefore, this is a good look. I remember one time Andrew Holness was so upset about the fact that he went to Peter Bunting and how to tackle crime in Jamaica. And the response Peter Bunting gave him, it looked like Andrew Holness wanted to tell him man to go suck him mother. I'm just being honest, like I would literally send him up under his mother as well. But I lose my work, because imagine I come to you with an issue that is crippling Jamaica. We have gangs and we have organized crime, and our homicide rate is through the roof. I'm coming to you with an issue. We need to tackle crime and violence in the country, and you're going to tell me it's only an act of God can fix it? And I could remember how Peter Bunting looked at him with such shame in his face when he insisted crime did actually get resolved in Jamaica. Now, aside from the fact that we have police, killings and all of that, or police brutality, however you want to put it, the rates of homicide has decreased exponentially. It has decreased. And all my life growing up, I've always known Andrew Holness as an education minister. So for some reason, when me hear my tackle crime, I don't know, me just couldn't make it make sense. Me just couldn't, me couldn't make it, me couldn't see him do it. That is just the truth. Because as I said, all my life growing up, he was education minister. Anybody asks if they know Andrew Holness, education minister. So that was just weird to me. However, I was really interested in his dissertation because remember, he got his doctorate degree in law and policy, and his dissertation was From the States to the Streets, the Impact of US Gun Laws and Gun Violence in Jamaica. Now, this actually examines how Americans' firearm legislation influences the illegal arms trade and contributes to gun violence in Jamaica, right? And granted, this is a good move for him to actually study law and policy. It tells me that, you know, he really wanted to find a solution to the gun violence issue in Jamaica. Because be reminded, you know, in order for you to solve a problem, you know, you have to understand the problem. If you got a doctor and you tell the doctor, say, boy, doctor, you know, some have a knee issue, chances are they need to know what is causing the issue. Is it that there is something? Is it that there's a blood clot? Is it that you have arthritis? Them can't just, them not supposed to just tell you, oh, take a Tylenol and go to your bed. You get what I'm saying? They're not supposed to just do that. They're supposed to actually find the root issue so that they can deal with the root issue. It doesn't make no sense to deal with the surface issue or the symptoms of the issue, because the issue itself is not going to go away. And look how much gangs and them cohorts, their court. Look how much gangs did actually their court. There was even one where them a talk about, oh, them a drink blood out of skull and them something there. Like, it was crazy. Klansman trial was wild, you know. It was, me not think couldn't understand how wild it was. And I can say that for him to stand up here, you know, and give such a speech on gang violence across the world, like, it's really good, because you can see where he put in the work in his country. El Salvador is another country like that. El Salvador, you could walk on the street, you know. Nowadays in El Salvador, you can't even walk on the street without even a liquor bottle in your hand. You're going to jail. Them serious pan crime. And this is, I think that this is an example of leaders who are interested in solving issues in their country.
Captain Ibrahim Traoré, I have listened to your words with care. They are words heavy with conviction, words that echo across oceans, words that speak of sovereignty and of service to the people. I do not dismiss them, for in every challenge there is truth to be examined. But let me speak clearly as a Jamaican, as a leader, and as a servant of my people. Jamaica is no stranger to struggle. We were born from the fire of slavery. We endured centuries of exploitation and domination. Our soil was stripped, our people were chained, our voices silenced. Yet from those ashes we rose. We broke our bonds. We claimed our independence, and today, nearly 63 years later, we stand as a proud and sovereign nation. So when you say, Captain, that Jamaica must not bow to the West, I agree. But let it also be known, Jamaica bows to no one. Not Washington, not London, not Brussels, not Beijing, and neither do we bow to Ouagadougou. Our sovereignty is not conditional. It is not up for negotiation. It belongs to the people of Jamaica and Jamaica alone. You have challenged me, Traoré, to rise above the chains of colonial influence. And I say to you that struggle is not new to us. It is in our blood, it is in our history, and it is in our present. But understand this, the journey to sovereignty cannot be measured only in fiery words or public defiance. It must be measured in schools built, in hospitals equipped, in jobs created, in families fed, in communities lifted out of despair. That is the true test of leadership. You accuse the West of extracting wealth from nations like ours. You are not wrong. But Jamaica's path forward cannot be defined only by who we resist. It must be defined by what we create. Because resistance without construction is emptiness. Defiance without progress is stagnation.
I will not trade one master for another. I will not trade Western dictates for Eastern dictates or African dictates. Jamaica's destiny will not be written abroad. It will be written here in Kingston, in Montego Bay, in Spanish Town, in Portmore, in the villages of Clarendon, in the fishing communities of Portland. That is what sovereignty means. I hear your warning that my third term would change everything. And you are right. It must change everything. For rarely does history grant such an opportunity. A third term is not a reward. It is a burden. It is not comfort. It is responsibility. And so I stand before my people with this promise. Jamaica will not squander this chance. We will lower taxes so that hard-working Jamaicans keep more of their earnings. We will raise wages so that the dignity of work is restored. We will invest in schools so that our children no longer dream of leaving but dream of building here. We will modernize our hospitals so that Jamaicans are treated with the care they deserve. We will defend our industries, protect our natural resources, and ensure that Jamaica's wealth enriches Jamaicans. Not words, action. And to the people of Jamaica, I echo what Traoré himself has said. Leaders are not kings. We are servants. And the master is you. Hold me accountable. Demand more of me. Never allow complacency to weaken me, nor corruption to blind me. For a government without the people's trust is already fallen. Do not be silent. Use your voice. Use your vote. Use your power. Because Jamaica is not built by one man. It is built by millions of hands, millions of dreams, millions of sacrifices. Captain Traoré, I respect your conviction. You speak to remind us that colonialism still casts long shadows. You speak to awaken us to sovereignty and dignity, and in that, you and I are aligned. But know this, Jamaica's path is not your path. Our challenges are not yours. Our victories are not yours. And our future will not be dictated, not by the West, and not by the voices of well-meaning friends abroad. We will listen, we will learn, we will engage, but in the end, Jamaica chooses Jamaica. History, you remind me, is watching. On that we agree. History will ask, what did Jamaica do when the world was changing? Did we bow? Did we falter? Or did we rise and claim our place as a sovereign giant of the Caribbean? My answer is this: Jamaica will rise. We will rise because our ancestors endured chains so that we could stand free. We will rise because our children deserve a future, not of migration, but of opportunity. We will rise because sovereignty without prosperity is incomplete, and prosperity without sovereignty is fragile. This is my pledge. This is my mission. This is Jamaica's destiny. So let the world watch. Let Africa watch. Let history watch. Jamaica will not bend. Jamaica will not be bought. Jamaica will not be broken, because our future is ours, and ours alone. Thank you.